Hey everyone, this is Reina Carrillo with thepowervoices.com. Ski, ski, ski. With thepowervoices.com, straight from the streets radio show. And today I have somebody that's amazing to me because I got a chance to see a little bit about himself. And one thing that intrigued me was not only that he's this tall guy. Every woman likes to see a tall, buff guy.
Oh, nice.
So not only that he's attractive, he's a man, but he's a businessman. And so I want to, say thank you for coming into the studio, Gerald.
Oh, thank you
and
for
so we have author Gerald Lacey the second, and he's the author of The Visionary. And so I'm just so grateful that you took time away from your schedule to come in to grace yourself in my show, because
it's a pleasure, honestly.
Thank you. And everybody knows that my show is about educating, empowering, and teaching awareness.
Okay.
So today, I'm a person that read people very well. I think it's a gift that God has given me. So I know you're going to teach awareness today about, your lifestyle, okay, and your past. And I know that you're going to educate people because you're a businessman, and you're going to definitely empower others through your story, because I know you have a powerful story, and that's why I reached out to you. This is straight from the street, so we raw,
Right, okay, yeah.
And so I love to be able to bring people that have a powerful story to inspire the viewers, because we all need to be inspired. Not all of us want to do that 9 to 5, struggling, building somebody else's legacy.
No, that's important.
We want to be able to build our legacy and, and live a decent life, because sometimes being greedy is not great, because greedy becomes gluttony. So I'm not into that, but I am into empowering people, and if God bless you with abundance, that's great, and be able to help the next people. So that's what I'm all about, helping others.
No, that's awesome.
Yep.
I like that. That's what the whole Visionary is all about, is just giving back the information.
Yeah, so pretty much my interviews are always like if somebody's in my living room, we just chilling, whether it's wine or whether it's a beer, whether it's coffee, whatever, that's just how it is. So I wanted to ask you a few questions. I was thinking about the phrase of from conception to completion, success is our only option. Please explain that, because sometimes when you read things, you interpret it the way you want to, but I want to understand, what did you mean, in your words?
Well, honestly, the thought process comes from a lot of different places. I just felt like I've kind of done a lot. I've been pushing hard for a long time. Had a lot of success, a lot of adversity, and I felt like through all of those situations that success was my only option. If I was down, I was going to be successful. If I was up, I was going to be more successful. Like, it was just an inner drive. So I feel like that for anyone, if they switch their mind state to believe that they can do any and everything that they put their minds to, that it's possible. That's what I'm saying. So from the time you think about it, right, from conception, you're like, oh my goodness, I think I should do this. I want to have a new eyelash line, or I want a clothing line, or I want to own an NFL team. Whatever it is, from that very second, your dream or your vision is conceived. So from conception all the way to completion, and I'll kind of use it almost like from conception of a human, like of a child, right? So you have to show the baby how to live, right? You have to kind of give it the energy that you want it to have in order to succeed, right? And I think it's the same with life as a whole and with business, right? So once I conceive it, then I have to feed it, make sure I show them how to walk, show them how to approach different things, and then sometimes even all of us have gone through things, right? So it was our parents' job or our parents' duty to give us the information so we can make real good decisions. So I just feel like if you make those decisions and sometimes you're not going to always make the right decision.
Of course, I think that's a learning process, right? We got to live and learn sometimes. My mom always said a hard head make a soft ass. Excuse my language. But
sure.
I think that's the truth. So yeah. And then I had also so I want you to break down, because I did key things, because I love
Get back in my book.
I love to just get to know, because I do want you to talk about your book, because that I'm you're the special guest, not me. And so these are things that I thought about, and I was like, okay, talent management, break down a little bit about that, talent management, how did you get into that, or how did it start?
That's been a passion of mine for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Just growing up in inner city of Los Angeles, heavy in the music industry, heavy influence. We had a whole West Coast movement, so obviously a fan from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, we used to beat on the tables and rap when we were kids, and it was just a dream, right?
The 80s, I remember that. I was born in the 70s, but I know in the 80s, being a little kid,
it was popping.
Yeah, be bopping.
Yeah, so, at the same time, we were trying to get it in, so, it's highly competitive in Los Angeles, and I was actually blessed with, I grew up with Demetrius Henderson, so his cousin is my Sean, and so I got blessed with amazing talent right from the beginning. Doe and I are best friends. We've been friends since we were 8 years old, and that's his cousin. So we were rapping together, end up forming Dynasty Records together. So since 2000, that's when we had an official label, and we had a record out. And then we kind of we were playing around a little bit. We were kind of a little bit distracted. And then we got blessed with my.
Young in the industry, but beautiful women and money. Come on now.
Let me give you a little bit of history lesson, right? So it was so fly that we were one of the few people that had flyers. So we used to go to clubs around the country and take over the club with a flyer. We would give people, they're like, what? Y'all rap? We had the DJ playing our whole thing. And we oh, this is amazing. We thought we was really living the life. And we was getting a little change at the same time, too. So, but anyway, back to the question. So, my Sean has been our artist from the very beginning since he was 10 years old.
Wow.
So we've been kind of doing all kinds of deals. We've seen the independent label side since 2000, right? So we've done all kinds of deals all the way to Interscope, to recently Columbia. And throughout those times, definitely had access to a lot of different talent, a lot of different situations, trying to put artists out to compete and provide situations where they could be most successful. So, I think I just like the concept of building. Yes,
and I knew that I saw a team builder too as well. And so what happens? For example, there's people, on the show, right? They're going to be listening that want to reach out to you. Are could they reach out, or it's no?
No, I'm completely reachable. I actually have on a card that I pass out, I have a hotline. It's Visionary Hotline. Okay. I feel like that anybody that really wants to reach out will. And why would I shun away from the possibility of amazingness, right? I don't know who I'm gonna run into. Yeah. Why are they listening to this show? Why do they even have my card to be able to reach me? Right. So if they care enough to call or care enough to text, then I'm definitely gonna care enough to listen.
Well, that's good, because sometimes people out there have a dream, and then sometimes people become so big-headed, and then they just shut down people I don't want to work with regular people. So that's why I was asking, because I know people that want to do stuff, but they just don't know what direction to go. Right. And so that's why I was asking, talent management, that's interesting. This is Straight from the Streets Radio. We're on the radios, entertainment, and then lifestyle coach. Break that down.
Well, I think it all works hand in hand. I think I officially took on the title when I semi-retired. I was living in Florida at the time, and I was I think I've been life coaching the whole time, but at that time maybe that the term was becoming popular, and I was on the beaches, and I was just noticing that there was a lot of I was in the Zen place. I'm always at the beach, and then I was noticing that there was a lot of people that were kind of drawn to my energy, and we ended up having random conversations, and it kind of turned into a thing for a second. I had a little website called Dream Consultants LLC where we were kind of doing that. But ultimately, I think I've been life coaching all of my artists and anybody that was my friend that I had. I guess that I cared, about their journey, right? Because at the same time, I was getting life coached, so it was more like a reciprocative.
Reciprocal. You and me, boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's good. And the reason I was asking about that is because I pretty much cherish and admire my mentors. So that's the word that they use before the life coaching and all that stuff. Right. So having a mentor, somebody that you can look up to help you, that's so powerful. And I think that we do need people like that, and that's why I plan to, next year in 2019, do a woman empowerment event. And I am going to have, God revealed to me to have 2 males. So even if it's a women's conference, 2 males that admire and respect women and can take them, inspire them to another level, something different. And
I think it's just that time.
Yeah, it is. No, it is. It is. 100%. And I'm tired of labels, when women... I remember when I worked for the city of Los Angeles for Virgosa when he was mayor of LA, and the women, like, you know, I grew up like a chola, so like I was raised with dudes, like guys, so I didn't know what jealousy was, you know, I didn't know any of that, you know, I just wanted to party, have fun, I was loyal, you know, things of that nature, you know, I'm a woman of my word, and so when I got into that field, you know, I didn't know what the heck was red bottoms and, you know, all this clothes and this glamour stuff. You know, I throw on the makeup so I can look more feminine because I do not wear makeup, you know. And but I do it for the pictures, and you know, that's just what it is. You know, social media, you gotta look good. You can't just be looking busted all the time. And so I just remember women like, you know, being so snobby, and I'm just like, why are they like that? They don't love themselves, or they're not, they don't have high self-esteem. Like, why are they behaving this way? And I just feel like I'm just Reina from the block, walking in wearing a business suit because I have to. You're working for the city. But I didn't understand how they would be like, ew, looking at me up and down and have attitudes.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
it's
just weird. And so I'm just like, man, I'm just here to help the community. Why are you tripping? So I started learning that women in general start doing like, you know, the power trip. And I'm like, okay, so this is the cattiness that's going on. So I want to do something positive that has no labels, and women, you know, that are, you know, high places and have a lot of wisdom can be able to mentor the young women, you know, and so that's what I'm
incredible.
Yeah.
I'd love to be a part of that. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's important, and you're completely in line with a lot of things that's going on across the country.
Yeah.
I think it's changing. I think the people that are in our age group and our demographic are starting to see, because we were kind of like the innovators, right? We were the ones that kind of wanted to go bigger. Like, it was at a time when we started really getting money, so we started thinking that we could really get money. At first, it was like everybody was excited about 10,000 or 100,000. Then it was $1 million. Now dudes is throwing millions. It's like, okay, so things are changing.
Yes, it is, and it's going so fast.
It's happening really fast.
Yeah, so that's what I was asking for the lifestyle coach, and then designer.
Well, so
that's why they look like when I keep on my show. I ask questions because I love to learn. You know,
this is good.
You know, I love to learn.
Perfect. I mean, because all of it really works hand in hand. I mean, we're actually sitting here in studio today with a couple of my partners in a couple of different ventures, and we're all about empowering.
Oh, that's
amazing. And like Sean, we've been saying about, I don't know, since junior high, elementary school friends, something like that. So anyway, from Audubon Junior High School all the way to creating a clothing line called Rich Taste. This was in 2005. This was before Instagram and all that kind of stuff. But we had really high-end T-shirts and leathers and denim and all kinds of things. And we were in like 50 stores in the U.S. and like 3 stores globally. And we were selling our shirts for like between like $300 and $800. And I think at that time we probably were one of the only few urban premium brands in existence. There was Coogee that people were familiar with spending money with, like a lot of money. But
was a lot of money, and a lot of colors.
Yeah, right.
Took out from me.
And then there was us. I mean, our closest competition probably at that time was the brand that was Ed Hardy. But that wasn't an urban brand, and it was a little bit rocker.
But the urban was rocking that brand, Yeah,
and then prior to that, I helped my ex with a brand called Shiki Jeans. And so we were impacting Vegas. We were like one of the first premium denim brands in Vegas. So I kind of been playing around in that industry for quite a while. Still have a factory now in LA for knits and garments and one-offs and stuff like that.
Okay, well and that's why I'm asking these questions, because there's key points. And there's people out there that I know, you know, that need this. And I always go with my intuition. When I see something, I just go for it. And so this is exciting, because I know there's going to be people out there that's going to like, I want to do a clothing line, but I don't know where to start. Well, they can contact you to do business, you know? Yeah, wow. And then it's in LA, what's even cooler, you know? Okay, and then so the branding marketing, I'm not familiar. I know what branding is, kind of like branding your company, things like that, but the marketing part, like I'm just trying to figure that. So branding marketing means?
So the branding is actually the what you see, right? That's the branding. And then I guess the term of branding is getting people to understand what that is, what they're seeing, what they feel like when they're seeing it, like what is it? Like when you see Nike, it's been branded for you to know, just do it, right? And for you to see these certain things, Coca-Cola, they show you what they want to show you. The marketing side is the fact that you're actually seeing it. That's marketing.
Oh, duh. Okay.
Yeah, right. So, right, and then when you see it, it's making you.
Getting educated
it's converting you to become a customer.
Yeah.
To become a consumer of that brand, right? So it's a huge fight, between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. It's
Yes,
marketing.
it is.
It's branding first, right? Pepsi wants you to see blue and red. Coke wants you to see red and white.
Yes.
And it's war.
Wow.
Who's
that's
going to get the
interesting.
consumer?
Okay. And then fitness guru, because every woman and every man sees physique. So I was like, okay.
Let me go back since
guru.
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me go back since we on the marketing. I actually do have a marketing firm. We do really high quality digital marketing and actually grassroots and guerrilla marketing. It's called GoGoX Marketing. It's GoGoXMarketing.com. So if you need high end, if you want high end video, whatever you want, we can handle it. So
okay, so that means that when I start running for mayor, I know who to come to.
100%.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
I mean, if you have talent and you're amazing, you feel like you can't work on high end and high quality projects. I'm definitely looking for those people as well. As a client, we're not the least expensive because some of our designers, some of the best in the world, worked on Adidas and everything like that. So we're not necessarily your discount design firm. We're actually a design firm, a marketing firm. We're not just really like a business like that. So, but I am willing to help and willing to accept all talent.
Oh man, that's good. That's amazing. Because you know what? Sometimes people in the hood got money after income tax to save and, and make their dreams happen.
Listen, we're gonna make it official.
Yep. And then so fitness guru. So what got you in fitness?
Well, I've been playing sports here in Los Angeles since I was 7. Baldwin Hills to went to Crenshaw, played football. We actually had the first city championship in Crenshaw football history, 1991. Doe and I were team captains.
1991.
Yeah,
Ooh,
ago. Yeah.
The 90s. No, I remember that. Shush. In the 90s, I was acting up over there in the 90s.
Well, let me find out. We need
to
hold on.
I'm
about to go on the other side.
I was on the morning side. In the Crenshaw and 108 area.
What? I'm about to go on the other side of the seat and interview you. I'm going to be like, so here we are, Straight from the Streets Radio.
and then I wanted to talk about international business consultant.
Okay. That's actually one of the more interesting points of it all. A lot of the stuff on there is fitness guru. I mean, I say that only because I train a few people and I actually understand fitness and physiology. But international business consultant is kind of where I am in my build right now. This is the book that I'm writing right now. I've been to Africa. I was able to actually see the land and understand the dynamics of the business over there. Have some really good connections, and it's really just an empowering feeling to know that there's opportunity outside of America for an inner city kid, right? So I feel like as life progresses and we all become more successful, we'll be able to take advantage of more opportunities and be able to feel the energy of what it feels like to be rich off the land.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy that you're talking about that because I was watching a YouTube video with Akon.
Okay.
And I think it was on the Breakfast Club or something like that. I'm not sure, but I know I was watching the footage. Oh no, it was what's the oh my gosh, Noriega. He has a show.
Okay. And
the rapper Noriega has a show, and the other partner dude is Cuban, and they were interviewing Akon, and Akon was talking about, if you have $10,000, you can go to Africa and buy land or something like that, and that's Africa has so many resources there that America or the United States will just talk so poorly about it. Like, we think people are starving over there. Everyone is starving.
For sure.
It's different. It's not just, everybody's starving everywhere. So we got people starving in California,
Yeah, it's a little rough out here.
Yeah, and they were talking about that, and they were saying that, Akon was saying something about, the Americans say, like, when you go to Africa, you gotta watch out because they can bring these diseases. And they're like, ain't nobody got diseases over there. People want to make it seem like it's horrible. So nobody like yourself or myself that wants to become entrepreneurs and have 10 or 20,000 invest in property and land over there, or to be able to take our business from California and bring it to Africa and become millionaires.
It's happening right now as we speak.
And I didn't know this until yesterday, and all of a sudden you're talking about it, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. I just remember I used to flip property back in the 2000s, and I remember I was able to buy homes in, the hood, and then be able to refinance and then buy my home that I had, the condo in Marina Del Rey, because these are things that I desired. I didn't want to live in the hood, but I just felt like I deserve better, It's for anybody, for any human. It doesn't matter about your colors. It's just for anybody. If you desire opportunity and want things differently, then go for it, And so I remember that, but I lost it all in 2007.
As we all did.
Yeah.
If you were going for it at that time, you
Yeah.
lost.
Oh, yeah, I sure did, man. Woo,
That's when we shut down
lost.
our line. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I think about this, I'm like, okay, so when I get back on my feet to where I'm able to take 10,000 and be able to flip or whatever it is, somebody goes to Africa and it's just me and him, because I learned a lot through business. Middleman, boom. Never work with a middleman. You always go you and that person. So I learned that. And so, you know, I know that I want to be able to do that. Like, you know, buy land over there and just do something with it positive. Yeah, it is empowering.
And this is the thing, right? So if they actually show the size of Africa in the actual size that it is on the globe,
isn't it bigger than Asia?
It would cover the whole globe.
It looks bigger than Asia, right?
You know what I'm saying? It will cover the whole globe.
Oh, my.
So it's okay to even spread the word because, you know, I mean, obviously there's a certain kind of energy. I think anybody that goes is going to have that energy anyway, but it's a certain air of peace, you know, and I think comfortability, just even knowing probably that there's so much wealth around and everybody's hustling from, even if you're not wealthy or rich or anything, like they are all hustling. Like it's amazing on every single level. Everybody's going hard and everybody's living life. And there's so much room for infrastructure improvement and thought process and businesses, not even Americanized, but just modernized business and thought processes. So I don't know. That's exciting. But,
it is.
And then in addition to Africa, I've just been kind of inserting myself in different types of deals, you know, battery factories in China, just things that can sustain society and kind of.
Okay, now that I didn't even know. Like, you know, so I'm like,
a few different things, but
I just thought you were just cute and just hustling.
I'm after it all.
He's like, no, I got brains, sister. I got brains.
I'm chasing billions in real life.
As you should, because that picture already says billionaire. To be honest with you, you got to put it out there in the universe.
Thank you. I'm literally chasing billions right now. For
I
sure.
believe you. No, I believe you. That's why I'm just like, when you meet people and you talk to them, you get to know who they are. And so what you see is what you assume. You know, you look at a book and you're like, okay, he's attractive. He's had businesses. They probably, you know, went down. Business again went down, and now he for real. He's about to take off because he learned so much from the past that this time around it's like I'm too grown to not win. But then when I'm sitting down with you here, it's like, whoa, no, you're on a whole nother level. Like, so that's a good thing. And but I hear you saying about energy, because I'm you know, like I said, I'm a very spiritual person, in tune with God and things of that nature. And you said something that like just popped out my mind, because I love the ocean. Why do you like the ocean? Because I'm about to tell you my part why.
I'm so drawn to the ocean. I don't know if it was because I was born in Los Angeles, but honestly, so I spent a little time in Atlanta, you know, far from water, like different places, even in Vegas, you know, on my build. And at times, I felt like, you know, I mean, I was I literally was dying, right? Like I needed to feel that regenerative energy of the sea, right? Because it's nonstop energy and it's definitely regenerative and it's like most powerful. So it's almost like a recharge for me.
Yes,
like,
it is.
I have to, like, I don't even know why I haven't just been living on the beach this whole time. Like I ask myself this now that, you know, it's getting closer to me being in position to choose which beach I want to live on.
Yeah, Malibu, no, sorry. Like Malibu, please.
I mean, or something similar.
Redondo Beach. That's nice too. Manhattan Beach is nice. Believe me.
Options.
Yeah.
I like that over there because you can go north or south.
And it's easier too. It's easier because that PCH one, man, that's
vacation home or something.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. You want to be able to pull in, pull out, and have visitors.
100%.
Yeah, because I love Malibu, but it is. Yeah, I think Hermosa Beach, Redondo Beach is way better. And
vibes.
Yeah, the vibes. And the reason why I like the ocean is because I know God created it. That's point blank. All around the world, whether you're in Mexico, you know, and Cuba, it's just the ocean is a connection, you know. And one thing that I learned later on, I don't know what it is, but when I go through, like, you know, we all go through hardship sometimes in life, whether it's your relationship, whether it's business, whether it's just you personally, you know, spiritually, mentally, physically, whatever it is. And so sometimes, like, for example, I got to tell this story because God is saying, go ahead and tell the story. So there was an incident where, you know, I was at the wrong place at the wrong time, and this neighborhood put a hit out on me. And and I was going crazy in my mind, like, oh my God, like God, like, you know, now I want to live, you know, I ain't ready to die, you know. And so I just remember my heart was saying, you know, go to the ocean, sit down, get your feet in that sand, you know, and just recharge. That's that recharging. That it's like we're so used to metals and cell phones and everything that when we go to the ocean, to the soil, whether it's rocks, grass, you know, it's like we recharge ourselves.
Yes. And
so I just remember sitting down, you know, putting my feet in the sand and just telling God, like, you know what, I you know, I have these conversations with him, like, you know what, God, I'm here at the ocean. I feel this is the closest I can get to heaven to you, because it's the ocean. It's like, to me, it feels like infinity, you know?
It is.
And then you see that sun setting, and you're like, okay, the sun, you know? I was born and raised Catholic, so he was the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So I'm like, the sun, it represents him for me, you know? Because I'm a very symbolic person. And I see the waves coming. And as I'm talking to him, I'm all like, you know what, God, I want to live. I don't want to die. You know, in 97, I was supposed to get killed, and I survived that. And now I'm in my 20s, and I'm just really doing things in life that are so positive that I'm just not ready to go. And I said, you know what, I just need you to protect and shield me, and, you know, keep me here. And all of a sudden, as the wave is coming, this is what I'm releasing back to him. So when the wave goes out, I leave it there. I don't think about it after that, because I trust in him that he's going to take care of me. And I truly felt like he heard my prayers right there in the ocean, because I survived that hit, you know. And the way it worked out, it was a lot of favors for me, you know, in favor for me, that people knew me, and there was like, wait a minute, this is nah. And then I find out, you know, going back and hearing that the law enforcement told the person that I was going to go to court and testify against him. And the people that I know, like, man, Reina is not no snitch. Number one, that's not, So, you know, and, you know, don't worry about nothing, you know. And so, you know, I cleared my name, and I just felt like God was there with me. I felt at peace, and I saw, you know, the transition of me growing. So when I was younger in the 90s, you know, I'm not embarrassed. I was super from 18th Street, so, you know, I was sick with it. Like, you know, that was my thing back then. Yeah. And, you know, and I was like Tupac, to live and die in Inglewood. Like, it wasn't LA, it was Inglewood, that mentality. And to be able to survive it and then change your life, but you're still around that kind of environment. But you don't gang bang and do the crazy stuff, but you're still in the environment. And then that happens. And it was kind of like a sign to say, wake up. You got to start changing. And then that's when I obviously started making changes in myself, then got married, because I was like, oh, that's a big step. Something new, something different. I need to become a wife and mother, you know, something different. Like, you know, I don't want to be single all my life, especially as a woman, because, you know, for me, I've always desired to be a wife. Never, you know, not saying baby mamas is the wrong thing, because everybody has their own thing, but for me, I had standards, and my standards was I was going to take a man's last name, you know, and so I got all of that, you know, and so I look back, and that's why I say that ocean, energizing yourself and just sitting down and you know, expressing whatever you're going through. And that's why I say when that water comes, I just release, and when it goes, I don't even think about it, and I just get up, walk to my car, and I just leave it in God's hands. And so that's why I love the ocean, you know, and that's how I connect with the I don't know, the earth or something. You know?
It's the energy of the world. It's powerful. I mean, that's why we're sitting in the studio, honestly.
Yeah, it's not a mistake, because I mean, like I say, when I reach out to people, some people, you know, they're like, oh yeah, I'm down, and some people are like, oh, it's not for me. Okay, not a problem. But I know that every person that comes into the studio is placed here for a purpose, you know, and a bigger purpose on top of that. And so I want to go to the next one, because these two things were interesting too. And then we're going to go into your life story, and then we're going to go into the book. Okay. So I'm just trying to get you warmed up.
Oh goodness! I thought we was heated. You know what I'm saying?
So then now, pilot.
Yes.
Okay. So you know how to.
Yeah, I'm an actual pilot, yes.
Serious?
Mm-hmm. Only single engine, high performance, retractable. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that's interesting. So that means, like, it's not like a helicopter. It's actually, it could be a private jet?
Yeah, well, I have to get certified. There's levels to it, right? Right now, I'm just, you know, the little propeller on the front.
Okay.
But retractable, high performance. So I think it's over 250 horsepower or something like that. Yeah,
I've always wanted to try that because on Crenshaw 120th they got those little airplanes, and I've always wanted to do it.
You have the aptitude for sure.
Yeah,
you survive these streets, you can fly a plane.
Okay, because I was like, I don't know how to pick up. I'll be like, oh Lord.
Sure.
I remember when I was in high school, and somebody was like, when we went water rafting or something, and I was young and dumb in high school, and they were like, if you jump off that cliff. It was a 100-foot cliff, and I can't swim. So, and I was like, and I was trying to be hard, and I was like, man, whatever, man, get out of here. I said, I'm just looking. I'm about to go back down. They're like, if you down for your neighborhood, you're going to jump off that cliff. And what did I do? Jump off that cliff. And when I jumped off that cliff, I was like this, because I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm jumping off this cliff. And then somebody tells me, yelling from down, like, don't look down. So if I'm going to die, I want to see. That sounds crazy, but I want to see if I'm going to die. So then I looked down because I thought I was going to die or something. No, they were telling me don't look down because once you fall and you look down, then your whole body, and that's what happened. Boom, I broke 3 ribs and bust this open. Oh, my gosh.
Dang.
Yeah. And
from 100 feet?
Yes.
It's a blessing again.
And I survived it. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, that was crazy, but my God. So that was crazy. So that's why when I did get pregnant, I was like, I hope these babies don't kick that little messed up rib, and thank God they never hurt me. And so that's why, so not having fear of jumping or, high places.
You can handle it.
And sociologist, because my major as my bachelor's was sociology because I like working with people.
Okay. Yeah.
So sociologist.
Yeah, I think sociology chose me, but
okay. All right.
No, but yeah, I mean, and I guess since then, I kind of look at my whole life as a sociological experiment.
Yeah.
If you think about it, like it's a case study. I mean, coming from a particular neighborhood, from a particular demographic that dealt with a certain amount of things that happen in society, which is what sociology is all about. So ultimately, I'll probably write probably a textbook about sociology because I really feel like I have almost an anthropological view, you know what I'm saying, to what I was exposed to and then to some of the other people that I was exposed to and knowing what they were dealing with. I think that if I don't write that textbook, I think that there'd be a lot of misinformation.
And the story won't be told correctly.
From being in the streets. Like, so people, they make assumptions on why things happen in the streets and why people react to what they react to, how they react to it. But they don't really know the whole story. And a lot of times, if you're sitting on the couch, you're not going to never get the real story. But the fact that I was in the trenches with these people, like I was actually seeing it with my own eyes, like I feel like if I write it from that perspective, and using all of the things as case studies, I think I have a very nice textbook for sociology.
Yeah. And everybody wants to learn that because I know when I took criminal justice, I saw the books that they had, the textbooks, and it was and there's nothing wrong with that, but it was pretty much Europeans going out there, going to the communities and interviewing our people, black and brown, and making these books. And it's like, wouldn't it be amazing for our own people to make a book and tell it the right way?
Incredible. I would love to have some assistance. I mean, we would get it done way faster because I don't know all of the stories. Yeah. Or it could be a series.
Yeah, it could be.
I'm just saying, people buy, what's that, William, Merriman, whatever that thing is. I mean, people buy that as a stamp to saying that, they would probably publish ours.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Should do that.
Yep, I like that because I think everybody has a story. Yeah, me too. I want to get this shmoney. This shmoney. And then, so now we're going to get to the meat and potatoes of it all. So we're going to go back. And you're going to tell your story, where you were born and raised, where your family is from, and your journey, and then you're going to talk about your trials and tribulations on things that you want to talk about, okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Because like I said, it's about empowering and inspiring others. And then we're going to talk about this book. So it's all yours.
Well, it's great. Honestly, the whole, not the whole thing, but a lot of my background is my Visionary Foundation comes from where I grew up. So born in Los Angeles, grew up in the Baldwin Hills area, the Foot, like Rodeo Road. So I grew up over there. So Baldwin Hills, Dublin Elementary School. Well, first I forgot what the name of the little school I went to before Dublin. But anyway, it was right up on La Brea and Coliseum, where across from the old theater. But anyway, and then to Dublin, to Audubon, to Crenshaw, to the University of Hawaii.
University of Hawaii?
Yes, that's where my sociology degree is from.
Okay.
Yeah, and then from then stayed in Hawaii for a couple of years, moved to Vegas. Actually opened up a detail shop in Hawaii, so that was cool. It started getting a little bit hairy around there as the capital started to increase. So then I moved to Vegas, just kind of I wasn't really ready for LA yet, just because I knew it was going to really cost a lot to live how I wanted to live in LA. So I went to Vegas. It was in 1998, so Vegas was pretty much brand new, wide
19
open.
19 years old.
Yeah, good times, right? It was more like the Wild Wild West out there. So I was able to, just in all markets, in real estate and cars, and it was just a lot going on. So that was Vegas. We did Dynasty Records out of there, then went to Atlanta. After we got out of our deal with Interscope with Mike Shine, we kind of felt like he needed another chance to really show them who he was. So we went to Atlanta to go to the Mecca of R&B. Did that.
Go ahead, don't be nervous.
No, it's good.
I'm multitasking.
Did that. Mission accomplished. He ended up, working with every dope producer in Atlanta, from Shakespeare to Jermaine Dupri to B. Cox to everybody that's pretty much in Atlanta working. Then we ended up getting a deal with Columbia, Sony, Columbia. Jermaine Dupri executive produced the whole project. That was cool. They never put it out. So we ended up leaving that label, and now that brings us to now in that. And now I just kind of do a bunch of different businesses. I don't know how much time we have, but
we got a lot of time.
If we bring it to current, I'm in the software industry, heavy. So been working on a lot of new technology projects that are impacting society now. Also doing a little bit of trucking in Los Angeles and a couple other places. Just trying to venture out and just become the best me I could possibly be. That was kind of the quick version, but I don't know how deep you wanted me to go.
No. That's why I always ask the question. You go how you feel, and then I just pick
Crenshaw. Because it's I really just wrote so much of it in the book. But Crenshaw High School, that was dynamic. University of Hawaii was dynamic, and I've just been really after it ever since.
So you were in football. That's what made you go to Hawaii, or why the far distance?
Sports? I went to Crenshaw to play basketball initially, obviously world renowned for their basketball, and I ended up playing football my senior year. And then Hawaii. But Hawaii, because I was like, Hawaii for free and I get to play football.
Oh wow.
I'm out of here.
Yeah.
It was a simple decision. I didn't even take a trip. I was like, all right,
I'm ready to go.
I'm gone. So that was that.
Wow. So where's your family from? Were they born and raised here in LA?
Well, my mom was born in Nashville. They got here a long, long time ago. And then my dad was born in San Diego.
San Diego? Okay.
Yeah, so they met here in LA, though. Manual Arts. My parents went to Manual.
Nice.
Yeah, we grew up 49th and Gramercy. After my parents split, we went from Baldwin Hills to that area. Then most of the time I grew up 8th Avenue, 4th Avenue, just in the avenues. Yeah, all the avenues,
Oh, my goodness. So, as you have when you have these this journey, what made you create the Visionary, the book? And I want you to be a little bit detailed.
Passion. For sure. Well, honestly, the Visionary is kind of like a written invitation to all visionaries. And right now, it kind of looks like I'm saying I'm the visionary, but that's why I kind of put a collaboration of visionary insights. And actually, on my next marketing campaign, I'm going to put that as far as just so people know that there's really information for them as visionaries. I kind of want anybody that has that thought process or a dream or a vision to kind of pick it up. And I used a lot of my life examples, my trials and tribulations and things that I went through as examples. And then I left a lot of room for people to be able to ask questions. I asked them questions for them to answer, and they can almost use it as a workbook. I left a lot of space in the book for workbook, and I even have a spot in the end for people to work on their own vision.
Wow. Okay, so that's amazing. And so what is... just say, sometimes people don't really like to read, right? So what chapter do you think that would intrigue somebody that don't like to read, but that wants to have that opportunity to read the Visionary?
I think it's Hunger for Success would probably be one, because I know everybody likes that. Hunger for Success would be good. Take Action, Finish, Visionary Finance if you just like money and want to figure out what to do with it. Let's see here. Yeah, Craving Greatness, that's big.
Okay, can you read a little bit about Craving Greatness?
I mean, craving great. It kind of comes from like it's like that feeling that makes you stay up late at night, or that makes you get up early in the morning and go jogging at 4 because you got to be at work at 6, and like it makes you go that extra mile for yourself and for your family and for everybody that you love. It's like that inner feeling, like what are you willing to do? You know what I'm saying, to be great. And think about so I used a couple of examples in the book. I used Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Floyd Mayweather. Right, so I lived down the street from Floyd Mayweather when he was about 30 and 0. You know what I'm saying? So I would leave my house at random times, and at random times he'd be out, early in the morning usually, jogging and really kind of like craving greatness. He was already 30 and 0, but he wanted more, and we know the end of that story. So I talked about that and the hunger for success, and really not just not taking no for an answer, doing what it takes to be the best you can.
Wow, I think that's pretty awesome because. Like, when I look back, I look at, like you say, visionary. Like, I have a vision, and I'm not, I definitely going to have to read the full book because that's probably going to make me, push myself because of being shaped and molded and understanding and things of things to survive.
I think that's fly.
And thank you. I'm flying.
The flyest mayor in the history of Inglewood in the house. Yeah.
And so I was thinking to myself, like, a lot of, the current mayor at the time is, is into suppression. He's an ex-cop. He's an ex-chief of police.
Interesting.
And so, suppression is easy, and to say that there's no gang issues is a lie. And for me, for me, I just feel like I'm going into the community because I want to help these gang members, these gangs, whether it's Crips, Bloods, Essays, in the community, and be able to give them a voice. And so then there's no retaliation. Teach them how to own a business, a cleaners, whatever it is. Like,
we can work.
Man,
this will be interesting.
Yeah, because
you're gonna be the mayor.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, and I want to help those that want to do something in their lives. People out there robbing, killing, and stealing, or whatever it is, because number one, half of them don't know no better, and number two, it's survival.
Yeah. It's
survival, and so if we can remove these things away and add something to the table for these individuals to own businesses or entrepreneurship programs, and figure out how we can get funding from the government to be able to fund these things, to pay people like you or you to be able to, to do this component, because I have a project, and the project is something like that. And so, like I said, in 2021,
I'm sure we're in.
And I leave it in God's hands, and I have to tell you this story because it's important to me. So, being mayor, I didn't want to be mayor. It chose me. And the reason why I say that is because I just wanted to get my bachelor's and become a probation officer and be the best PO ever, and then hit the links to get to the top and to refix things in the system, because I believe in rehabilitation. And I see it's the opposite. It's like coming back, the youth are in YA Youth Authority or camp, and then they're preparing them for prison, and I call that the new slave ship. And so for me, I just feel like I wanted to make a change, let alone on myself, making a change within myself and wanting to do something positive. And I did the footwork in the hood in my community in Inglewood. I was born and raised in Inglewood. My family lived off of Centinela in Florence area, by Centinela Park. Yeah. And then we moved to 108th and Prairie, 104th and Prairie. And so being a second generation gang member, yes.
That's why I went to school.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
And I went to Worthington. Yeah, and
that's nuts.
And I remember my father, he was a cholo, my mom was a cholita, and they grew up or whatever, and they had me, and my father would always like tell me, because I think it's a latchkey kid, so I was young and open it, close the door and get in there and be quiet and microwave my food and wait for my parents to get home, and my dad always told me, like, you got to survive these streets. You're going to see prostitutes, those women that sell their bodies. You don't ever want to be in that situation. You got the drug dealers over here, and there was the Bloods that's been in the thing. Everybody knew not to mess with Jose and Lila and Reina. They were like, crazy Jose, that's a crazy Mexican, And so I saw that, and then, and then my dad was like, they got people that are predators that look for little children that be in these vans, and I'm just like, dang, like my dad was just telling me too much. I was like, oh, traumatized from a Cabbage Patch doll, like, what the heck?
Slow down,
Yeah,
Pops.
slow down, Pops, slow down, you know. And it was just,
Oh, he was trying to
it's
get
just
you right.
crazy. Yeah, he was just trying to get me right, and a lot of work. Believe me, it worked in certain ways. And so, I just think that, you know, like you just look at things of that nature, you know, how you grow up and everything like that, and how you want to give back. And so I just feel like, you know, everybody needs an opportunity, and I'm just grateful that you're here to you know, to share your story, because it's empowering.
Oh, thank you.
And then your book, The Visionary, is like, you know, the vision. I want to own a nonprofit, which that's in the process. I do want to have 2 dump trucks, you know, and I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to do that, and you know.
I'm just saying. I mean, like
I've
this,
been trying
everything
to do
happens for a
that.
reason.
Yeah.
I mean, from Lock Haven, it's already sealed. It was already sealed, but then there's no way you grew up on the same corner. You know what I'm saying? That I went to. I don't know what you call that school. What grade I was in, but yeah, I got the little picture to show.
Yeah,
it's real.
Yeah. And then, you know, and it's like, yeah, it's like nonprofit dump trucks, because I know I went to a meeting in Inglewood. It was none of the males. I walked up in there with business suit in the wrong meeting, but I was at the right meeting.
We should probably talk.
We
are talk about this.
We are, because I know that and I hate to say this, and this is off the record, when you see a bunch of men, you know, in the business,
is it off the record?
You know, in this industry, especially how they're building the stadium and everything, and you see a beautiful woman walk in that is serious about money.
I think we should have a sidebar meeting about this.
Yes, we are, because I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm definitely ready. Like I said, I'm loyal.
Positioning is everything.
I don't bite that hands that bite me, you know.
Hey, look, I think so. I'm not sure how many other people have copyrighted hashtags. You know what I mean? But like, actually, this book is actually U.S. Department of Copyright, and if I'm first, you know what I'm saying. So there's one of the hashtags that I use all the time that's actually in there is positioning is everything, right? So positioning yourself to be able to create the opportunity for yourself.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And be open to it when it does happen. Mm-hmm. So essentially, this is beautiful. Honestly.
I'm excited. So so with that, you think about vision. I think about my visions and how we're connected. And do you have, like, you know, for social media for the viewers, you know, like your websites, social media? Go ahead and drop all that information.
I've been kind of building all of that. Right now I have a store, the Visionary-Store.com. I mean, this is a radio interview, so it'll last forever. We're working on Go Visionary Go, which will be kind of the all-encompassing place for all visionaries to come and congregate with, kind of like camaraderie is like the baseline of the visionary culture. So that's what Go Visionary Go is all about. Hasn't launched yet just because I'm working on so many other projects. Yes. I haven't really had a chance to get in it. But so the Visionary-Store.com is where you can get the book. I'm on Instagram at Mr. Business Consultant. Yes. No underscores, no periods, traditional spelling. There's a couple of random, the Visionary Path, haven't really built that yet. Well, just mostly anything visionary. If you hashtag the Visionary, you'll probably see a lot of stuff. If you hashtag no excuses, go hard, sacrifice for greatness, positioning is everything, like you'll start finding a whole bunch of visionary stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's what I believe in. That's what I live by every day. So I hashtag it on everything that I post.
Okay, and is www.geraldlacey.com still good?
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just say,
it's on there.
Because you know the older people, they're like, "What's Instagram? What's Twitter?"
Okay. Well,
Gerald.
Yes.
GER. What's Facebook?
Yeah.
What's MySpace? I don't know if MySpace exists anymore.
No,
for
sure.
But we doing good. We doing good on time. And the whole show is all about you. And you know, I always tell people it's a bit long.
I thought it was gonna be like 15 minutes.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. I should have told you. I was like, we got 58 minutes. You know, it's all you. But we doing good because we're on 50 minutes. You see that? You know, and it didn't even feel boring. It was.
Y'all good back there, gentlemen?
Y'all good? They good.
Okay.
They
good. Just make sure. I mean, we out here in the trenches.
I'm sorry if I kept you over time, you guys. I'm sorry. But like I said,
awesome,
you know, it's.
I think we might have made some millions in this interview.
Yes, and I'm.
And it's not even live, so we could pick or choose whether we want to really use it or not. We might just go get the millions first.
Yep, and I'm down with that.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, because I got, like I said, I got so much vision and love for my community that, like, you know, that's why I'm excited about you know, reading the book. And like I said, your picture already says billionaire, you know, you spiffy and everything, and then I got millionaires in my circle that I would love to connect you with, you know. It's amazing, man. And one of them his name is Kirmo. Okay. You know, And then I have another woman that, that's in my life that's also a mentor, Daphne Wayne. She used to be married to Keenan Ivory Waynes.
Okay.
And, she's an amazing woman. And, I have, Josefa Salinas, not, she's rich with wisdom here. Smart businesswoman, smart woman. And I always tell people, I was like, I'm proud of, she's, in Spanish we say comadre, because when you baptize a child, you become, comrades. Mm-hmm. So comadre, compadre kind of thing. And so she baptized my daughter.
That's sweet.
And that woman, she's the one that's going to be my campaign manager, and she's the one that gave me the voice here for Straight from the Streets Radio. And so I'm just so grateful to be able to have people like you and her and other people to surround me, because I know God has great things for me.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't have what they say, without vision you perish.
Mm.
Whoo! You got vision, I got vision. I know y'all got vision.
All visionaries.
So I'm really excited and super, super excited to have you on my show. Is there anything that you want to say before our show ends?
I just appreciate the opportunity, and it's definitely a blessing for our energies to be able to merge at this point in our lives, to where we can actually understand what the merger really means and be able to capitalize on it. So I want to say thank you for inviting me. It's just out the airways, so I appreciate that. And I guess if I could send a message to the people, it's just to just believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at a recent video I posted on Facebook, and it says kudos to the underdog that believes beyond circumstance. You know what I'm saying? That means that it doesn't really matter where you are right now.
Yes, that's right.
Where do you see yourself at, and are you willing to really do what it takes and take the lumps? You know what I mean? If you get knocked out, you know what I'm saying, get up, you know what I mean, and be looking for the fight. At least, it is what it is, right? As long as there's breath, you know what I'm saying, there's opportunity.
Yes, it is. And people don't realize
choices,
that, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You breathing, you alive.
Choices.
You winning.
Choices.
When you wake up and you winning.
Say thank you every day.
Thank you.
It's not a miserable day when you wake up at all.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I am going to connect you with Guillermo. We call him G. And G has a bald head, and he's from Zacatecas, Mexico, and it took him 5 years to become a millionaire. And his mentor that introduced him in the business, his name is Ed Milet. Ed Milet makes $1 million a month. Mm-hmm. I never fathomed that. I thought you only can make $1 million a year, and this guy's making $1 million a month.
$12 million a year is totally attainable.
Yeah, and I'm just
not to downplay it, but I'm just saying for you.
And for me,
go ahead,
I'm just trying to start with $10,000 a month. I'm like, can I just get $10,000 a month, and then $20,000, and then we go to $100,000 a month, and then but
power of 72.
Yeah. But what you know about that? How you know about? Oh my gosh! Okay, we're gonna have oh my God, the rule of 72.
Yeah.
How you? Oh my! No, you know about it because you're about business. Duh.
It's in the book.
Oh my gosh.
Visionary Finance, chapter 13.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
keep yourself out of bankruptcy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so excited. So you know what? You have any more shout outs or anything? Because I'm about to close on a few.
Crenshaw District, West Side.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? LA all day, since it's straight from the streets. You know what I mean? Like, I represent worldwide for us. Yeah.
All right.
Visionary.
That's right. Well, I want to give a special shout out because my Aunt Diana told me, you better give me a shout out. So I'm going to give you a shout out, Aunt Diana. I love you, Aunt Nana. You're the best. You're the bomb. And I'm so excited. And when I make my first 100K, I'm going to buy you your pearls that you want. You wanted pearls, I'm going to give you pearls, Auntie. So I want to give a shout out to the Carrillo family, my Uncle Fonzo, my Aunt Diana. I love you so much. And for the viewers, I'm excited that you're here tuning in, because this is so important. You already know what I'm about: empowering, educating, and teaching awareness. And today, Gerald did all of the above and more. And so once again, I'm excited. I'm so excited that I can't even talk right now. But just remember, go to www.GeraldLacey.com. Reach out to him. I'm going to have him on Facebook. I'm going to have him on social media with Instagram with Straight from the Streets Radio. So for more details, because I know some people will need a talent manager, things of that nature, lifestyle coach, designer. You own your own, Gerald owns his own
factory.
Thank you. So if people out there want to do clothing, this is the key person to connect with. I truly believe God doesn't make no mistakes. That's why you're here in the building with me. So once again, I'm inspired. I hope I inspired you guys on the other side of the speaker. This is Reina Carrillo with thepowervoices.com with Straight from the Streets. Peace. Boom. Okay.
Oh, shit.
That was fun.
I'm sorry.